Okay, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Let's do something. Let's get started. Well, nothing much. Let's just really for post analysis what we did yesterday. Um, for yesterday, price played out beautifully. A buy, potential buy here, 1 hour. And one thing I love about GJ is that when it starts pumping, it pumps real good. Okay. If we drop to the 30-minute time frame, you will see here, okay, this indicating the minor, as in a counter trend, a minor bias territory, okay. So the buy was on the break of the structure with stop loss below the structure. As you can see, it bumped, went above all of the structure as we anticipated. So for today on GJ, since yesterday played out, broke this structure, we are still in potential. Now we are in the buyer's territory in the overall sellers. This is becoming quite complex because, how will I put it? It's just like an onion formation. We are in a minor buyer's territory here, inside of a seller's territory, inside of a buyer's territory. On this 30 minutes, we're in buyer's territory. On the 1 hour, we're in buyer's territory. On the 4 hours, you would see that we are in overall bias, but inside of a seller's territory. Here, this is what I'm talking about. Overall, we're in this buyer's territory. However, inside of this seller's territory, which is why you see that price is reacting from this support here, which try to push price down on several occasions. As you can see, price has not officially closed inside of this supply zone. Then this is the buyer's territory you're seeing on the 1 hour time frame. So at the moment, pound, British pound, Japanese yen is just hovering. It's not really giving clear price action, except you just want to like do something this morning. Just, but I wouldn't advise. I'm just gonna observe what GJ is gonna do today. If it gives me a clear price action, good. I would have said, okay, let me take buys above here. Yeah, it could play out, but I don't like that. First, we try to go above into this zone, smacked down. We try the second time. Yeah, it's a weaker smacking down, but it was still smacked down. It was smacked down weak. So, and this time we are in this kind of very structure. Okay, inside of this. So this is a demand order block. Let's see how price will react if this drops to this point. Now, if it gives a deep pullback, that could be sweet for what? Potential buys. So this is what I'm looking at. If this gives a deep pullback, it could indicate sweet buys to retest this high. But taking buy here, now it does not augur well with me. So taking buys when it comes deep in order to approach this resistance here would make a little better sense to me. So this is what I'm looking at for GJ. Buys above if when we have a deep pullback, so this will be scenario one, but I wouldn't want to take buys if it occurs like this because we are approaching this gray zone. Okay, like a gray matter. I don't want to be in it. Okay, I want where the traffic is anticipatable. Okay, at this particular gray zone, it's just gray. You can't tell whether the traffic is clean or not. And I don't want to just depend on volume, because depending on volume to take you going up in a seller's territory is not wise. Okay, it's just presumptuous. So then for sweet sales, let's see how this plays out. Perhaps if price clip gives us a clean market structure today, we'll see what we'll do tomorrow. But don't forget, we are on the last week of this month. So it's possible that people are covering their short positions or long positions or securing their positions. So just just play safe for now. Okay. By the interim, as you can see, price is dropping to retest this low. If it drops further, beautiful. Then we'll be looking forward buys. Okay. Buys to retest this high. So this could be the potential TP for scenario one. If it drops below this demand order block, then we'll be looking for potential sales. Where at this particular time, I just want to observe what price will do. I don't want to just be presumptuous. Now, I will look at gold, then explain to you why I took the gold sales, the gold buys yesterday instead of the British pound Japanese yen, um, the gold buy instead of British pound Japanese yen buys. Yesterday, if you just watch the forecast for yesterday, so for post analysis, gold appeared the structure was very anticipatable, in the sense that yes, I know we were in 1 hour supply zone, but I saw this particular structure and I was like, okay, I'll take buy on the break of the structure, stop loss below the market structure, anticipating price to rally. Though gold was slow, you understand, it was quite slow in giving me what I wanted. I had to sit for a long time while I was just observing GG pumping, pumping bullish. I just look at what happened. I was activated here. This, what time was this? This was 1:15 Eastern Standard Time. Price dropped with this long bearish candle. Bottom wick. We're like, a close one. And while I was while I was in the celebration mood, or should I say celebrating, what happened? Celebratory mode. What happened was this dropped even further. I was like, wow. I said, it is what it is. I'm not going to touch any of my positions because I opened two positions here. Okay. I said, no, I'm not going to touch anything. If it takes it out, well, it is what it is. I'm going to do my post analysis to see where I got it wrong. I let it, and all of a sudden, this bullish candle came and gave me hope. The next one closed weak after breaking the high. I was like, oh, if it was GJ now, I would have anticipated more pumping. Closed back in the range. I said, oh my goodness. Okay, this candle opened, gave a topic, I was dropping down. I said, okay, no problem. It has given me just in this range now. And I was like, if this drops down to this bottom again, I won't be very comfortable, but I'm not going to touch it. Let me see what's going to happen. And all of a sudden, massive push, massive push. I took at one of my position, the TP was here. The second position, the TP was here. I know why I left it here, because there was something I saw. This is, some people will say, what did you see? This is sort of an institutional level. In fact, I don't want to be very aggressive, but I was trying just some new strategies, just trying something new. If you check this 1/8 41000, something like that. This is another institutional level. I'm just testing something, trying to see how the aggressive one works. But before I tried this, I knew I was very sure price was gonna smack there. But that is just hypothesis. It's not theory yet. So I put it on a conservative point. I did not want to shoot for the moon. You understand? So after then, phew, smack down. So if I had said let me be very aggressive and so, I don't know if I could, if it would have hit my TP. But what I'm trying to say is that SmackDown activated these cells, okay, activated these cells, rallied up. I'm like, ooh, I'll trust the process. Was hovering here, and I was like, well, it has not broken this high yet. Let's see what it's going to do. And all of a sudden, kaboom! It started dipping, came for retracement right at my entry position and dropped. And just like if you, though you have to watch the forecast for yesterday to understand when I gave the forecast that we are clearly in sellers territory. So I was only taking buys like paddling against the flow of current, okay, paddling against the current. So what was there was, if you watch the forecast for yesterday, this was where I was looking at taking sales if this did not make a high and dropped. But if it makes a high, which it did eventually, I will put my sell stop here, stop loss above the structure, and anticipate price to do what? Dip further. And as you can see, price dipped right to the TP. If you want to get an in-depth understanding, watch the forecast for yesterday. Okay. Without much ado, um, yeah, that reminds me. If you know you have, for those of you who are watching the recording, if you know you haven't subscribed, hit the notification button. What are you waiting for? So take these few seconds, just go see that red button or somewhere you see subscribe and hit that subscribe button. After which, do not hesitate to hit the notification button. Okay. Then, as a cream on top of the meal, you can just, I was even spelling cream. You can just do what? Comment, and the last but not the least is like. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead. The last but not the least on my watch list for today is Bitcoin. Well, as you can see, Bitcoin has been playing the pendulum game, okay, like a tennis. Ping, pong, ping, pong, ping, just like we anticipated, right at the crest, pong. And what happened? The pong broke the bottom of the basket. It just broke it. All this hitting and going up and down was creating perforations. So this is 1, 2, 3. This is the last one. You just broke it. If you look clearly, you could have anticipated this to some extent. But see, that's why post analysis is always good. It helps you to just see what you did not see. Watch this. Yeah, this is a faker. Don't forget, all of this is a faker. But in hindsight, this faker was indicating a structure here. Look at this. Where this rallied, okay, to the supply zone of this structure and was smacked down. You understand now? So that is just it. So at the moment, we are clearly in seller's territory. This is the guys who are controlling the move now. So far as price is below these guys, we are still in what? Sells. So what I'm going to do is, let me give it the rank. So at the moment, we're anticipating more sales. Okay, anticipating more sales. So this will be scenario one. If it goes above, then we'll be looking at buys scenario two. So this is just what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. For GJ, nothing much. We're just going to observe what's gonna happen. Yeah, I said I was going to explain why I took the gold sales, gold buys instead of the GJ. Okay, let me just dip a little bit on this. Don't worry, you ask your questions as usual. Okay. Um, why I took the gold buys was because although we're in this we're in seller's territory, price was giving us counter trend buys. Okay, and the counter trend buys was in a very comfortable position, which is inside of this supply zone, not below it. I know being inside is risky, but I've noticed over time is that, let's assume that this is sales like this. If this counter trend is occurring under, safe. If it's occurring under, close to this bottom demand zone, risky. Now if it's occurring inside, there's potential that it could touch the crest or the cap. Let me repeat what I just said. Okay, let me repeat that. But don't take my word for it. You are now traders, or you are aspiring traders or acolytes, so you can do your own research. This is what I mean. Anything below here, this zone, would be indicate probability for price to dip, right? Yes. If price gets closer to this point, this is very red area. Anywhere below is okay area, orange. Anywhere inside of this zone where it has crossed this red zone could indicate that price has a potential to mirror this traffic upwards. Okay, that is another way to look at it. So what I just did, I was building on that hypothesis that price, okay, look at what I mean. Anywhere close to this neck, as you can see, when price entered smackdown, entered smackdown, entered smackdown, and each time it smacks down to try to go below the range. But when it entered the neck this time, smackdown, and it held above it, within it, what happened the next move? A smack up. Watch here. Once it smacks down, what happened to the next move? Wick going up, wick going up. But this one, once it entered and it failed to smack below it, strong impulsive move up. Then it held for pre-London and London Open, smack up, come down, up. So this was just a pendulum that was occurring here. But don't forget, since we are in seller's territory, the sales had to play out. If you don't understand this, feel free to ask your question. Okay, I will respond as quickly as possible. Um, but I will suggest you watch this recording before you ask your question. Just watch it and watch it. I believe each moment you digest it, you get a different concept. It's just like reading the scriptures or any of your holy religious books. The more you try to study and observe, listen, meditate, you get a different dimension of understanding. Just tune in and all the best. Let's not go spiritual right now. So I'll stop here for now. Okay, bye for now.